especially given that there's a section allowing erotic dancing or strip teases.
Is that the first thing everybody on stream heard?
Please tell me it was. The first thing I heard when I came into this call was the phrase giant horse dong, so...
Dracon subscribed for 39 months.
Yay, Dracon subscribed to Giant Horse Dong for 30 however many months. Yeah. Hey, Jonas.
Guys,
Ray.
we're just rule lawyering here.
I called you Jonas, Ray. How does that make you feel?
So it both was not me.
So, we've been discussing the new Twitch terms.
There, I've changed my display name. Yeah, so in case y'all in the chat haven't heard, Twitch has made tits legal now.
Oh, not just tits.
Oh, not just tits, but it's appropriate considering what's on the screen right now with Rick's current avatar choice. We have
Get down from here.
Twitch has freed the nipple, and a few other things on top of that. Maybe even a few other things on bottom of that.
Yes, they freed the nipple, including the female-presenting ones.
That's right. No, you have to say it like this. You have to be like, female-presenting nipples.
I can't believe they legalized
Tumblr.
the horny. The horny jail industrial complex is gonna fall apart.
There's Jonas. That was just a little bit too early.
Hello? Is it
Hello.
coming through?
Yeah, it's coming
Weird.
through. When Ray came in, I called him Jonas, and I was like, wait, that's not Jonas.
Yeah, that's not me. It was weird. It said on the call thing, it said no route, and I couldn't get through for a while. But anyway, yeah, no, it's Kirk or Bananas.
Sam, there's a warship tearing up your area.
Hi, everybody.
Your extraction can't land now.
Leave it to me.
So this is the Egyptian Talos principle level, except you have guns, right?
Okay.
Yes.
We're old pals.
Guns and demons.
The lesser-known spin-off of Guns N' Roses.
Stop the foreplay and get serious.
Jessboxer asked, what do we have to do to free Rick's female-presenting nipples? You have to wait until Miller has implemented that redeem.
We're going to make sure that it's absolutely okay with the Twitch stuff first.
Yeah.
And then we will figure out how to implement it.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna make sure that Twitch is serious about this, no backseas, and we completely understand it. And then my power will be growing.
Yeah, I
In
mean,
the chat makes a good point. Now we could stream Baldur's Gate 3 with fully nude characters. Especially the dragon guys.
That was one of the first things I thought of, actually. Stream Baldur's Gate 3 the way I actually play it.
Do the dragon guys have bits, or is it like a reptile?
You can choose what they have. You have
That's
full
the
choice
best option.
between penises A, B, and C and vulvas A, B, and C.
A, B, and C, huh?
They're on the list with they're numbered with letters.
But yeah. Do I want to Google that? No, I don't.
Caption
you
said
do.
Baldur's gay. But that is also accurate.
Baldur's gay. Yeah. Anyway. What do you make of it, Jonas? This bold new era of Twitch streaming that we're entering.
I'm gonna be that guy and say we need to wait and see. I mean, I guess Rick already said that, but I mean, I'm in favor of it because people shouldn't make that big deal about junk. But I'm also
Frickin', that is what mods are for.
nice. No, but I'm also kind of like
Bless you.
I want to see how this actually plays out in practice, because
I'm really curious to see how this is going to play out with some of the how shall I put this? The not avatar and not game footage teasing that some streamers do.
Yeah. Well, that, and also, like, you know, there's a couple of hurdles to be passed here. There's, okay, is it okay with avatars? Is it okay with furry avatars specifically? Is it
Getting serious.
how because somebody's going to push this. Somebody's going to push this as far as they think they can do it, and we'll find
People are all
out.
pushing it. So
Yeah. Really? Jesus.
I mean,
Well, I
people
meant,
were
like,
pushing it
before
before this, yeah. Like, there was this whole thing, like, an almost, like, viral meme thing of hot girl Twitch streamers streaming topless, but with the camera just keeping things, rated PG or PG-13, and they'd even do, like, little bounces that would just, like, just keep things from being fully visible, As soon as there's a line, as soon as there is any line whatsoever, people will go right up to it and push their toesies right to the edge of the line. And some of them will even start to, push them slightly over the edge to see if anything actually happens. Like, that's just how people are.
Well, this is just a good thing in general, because I remember not which specific game, but there was a game that, like, was otherwise fine, but had, like, a shower nude scene in it, and streamers would, like, suddenly go into a panic trying to, like, cover their screen just because they wanted to they didn't want to get, like, banned or whatever, because this game happened to show a female presenting nipple at one point.
That's, that happened with Baldur's Gate 3 too, and the character creator. There's a number of great reaction videos of streamers who are, like, messing around with the character creator, and they're like, underwear off, and they click on that, and they're like, oh my goodness.
Whenever I hear the phrase female presenting nipple, I always think like, what is it, like a PowerPoint presentation? Like, here's the titty, here's, figure number one, figure number two, here's the titty from the side view, and now let me list the statistics,
You remember that one Far Side cartoon where it's just like the professor standing at the front of the room at the chalkboard, and there's just a diagram of a cow, and it just says cow, and he's like, yes, I see a question in the back.
Doodles the Great says, because Twitch is the place that DMCA'd Metallica for playing one of their own songs on stream. I find that funny for a very specific reason.
Yeah,
not too many people remember this these days, but at one point, about 15, 20 years ago now, Metallica was getting really butthurt about Napster, about people sharing their songs on Napster. So, I remember especially Lars Ulrich was getting super butthurt about it in an interview. So it's just kind of ironic to me that they got hit by a streaming service for playing one of their own songs.
Yeah, there's something deeply poetic about that. Also, Prince Floofers.
I just wonder how that's gonna result in terms of moderation, because of course a lot of gamers and watchers would be minors here on Twitch. And historically, people have made issues out of that, even with content labels on the internet.
Yeah, well, content labels are the first line of defense, and the second line of defense is "Shut up, minors! Get off my lawn." Be gone, zygote. But
yeah, always talking about the safe space for minors, and it's like, what about the safe space for adults to be adults?
Yeah.
What about the safe space for majors, huh? When do we officers get our due?
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, not to change the subject, but changing the subject. Prince Floofers in the chat has apparently just now learned about the upcoming Cult of the Lamb update.
The sex update?
Yeah, the sex update. The update is called Sins of the Flesh. We do not know what's in it yet. They have sworn it is not going to change the game's rating. All we know is now it is possible to get the cultists stripped down to little conveniently placed fig leaves and get them dancing around little bonfires and naked rituals.
They're not going to show anything. It's going to be like, what they're going to do is you're going to take one of their hands.
Sims or something.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
two of them go into a little tent, and the tent like jumps around all gratuitously.
Yeah, it'll be like the bushes. Like you'll take the lamb will take somebody's hand, then somebody will go, they'll blush, and then they'll jump into the bushes, and the bushes will jiggle, and you're like, gross noises.
You won't even hear that much. What are you talking about?
Yeah, probably not.
Bushes will the bushes or the
so
tent
dirty.
or whatever will shake. There will be a little heart that appears above it, and then someone emerges pregnant.
It's like a sex gauge. Like
It's gonna be just implied sexual content for sure, but it's still gonna be funny. Also, I just want my lamb to be able to consummate his marriage with Nerinder.
Yes, that's fair. One of the characters in that there lammy cult lamb cult lamb cult lammy lamb culty lamb cane cult. That one.
Jammer Lammy.
Yeah, I'd like to jam her anyway.
Look.
Look, Twitch said it's okay for me to talk like that now.
Yeah. Can we finally say scrotum on stream?
Jonas.
Can we do that?
Jonas. I'm sending you to scrotum jail.
Oh no. I don't like that.
That's horrible.
Don't like that.
No matter how you interpret that, it sounds awful, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's no good.
Is the lamb even canonically a guy or a girl? Not that it matters.
They're whatever
I've seen
you
a
want it to
Twinard
be. Yeah.
both ways.
I think they're just a they in the game, right? I mean, I don't know.
I'm not even sure if they're referred to as they.
It's
just lamb.
Right.
Most of the time.
I wasn't around for most of the Cult of the Lamb streams, I think, if I remember correctly. Oh, it's Griffin.
Was that tree always there?
No.
Is this level getting progressively more Christmas as you slaughter enemies?
Miller opined that
my family gatherings. Sorry, go on.
Miller opined that. Wait, did somebody scream?
I don't think so.
All right. Yet Miller suggested that perhaps the game knows the system
BRB?
time, and then and then on the appropriate date range, it just pops in Christmas trees into the map.
Leafy unsubscribed for 3 months.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay, somebody definitely just popped in. Who was that? It's Burb.
Incorrect. Nobody has appeared at all.
All right, fine. Let's see. Boxer says, "I'm not reading that." Then again, I did say scrotum. How dare you?
How dare you? That is not allowed on Twitch.
That is one strike.
Only female presenting nipples.
Boxer, bonk yourself with your hammer for that.
Yeah, Boxer. Shame. I'm waggling
Boxer
my finger.
is well known for his self box.
Can't do that on Twitch either.
Man, this game is just Vampire Survivors but in 3D and with guns.
And also, it's not automatic, and you actually have to think about what you're doing.
And there's no interesting synergies with all your different weapons and trying to upgrade their different abilities or anything?
There's synergies.
You know, at some point, Miller, I need to get your input on, like... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you keep going, Jonas.
Oh, okay. No, I was gonna say, I was just telling Miller, like, I need to get input on, like, good builds for Acrid and the what's he called? The hand guy, the loader, I think. He has the
Wait, you mean Ripley?
Yeah, Ripley. Thank you. Yes.
I'm a little upset. I guess this may be how it was in Risk of Rain 1. I don't remember that the loader was male in there. But like making the loader female in Risk of Rain 2 seems correct, right? Because it's just Ripley.
Yeah. I mean, you can even choose yellow as one of the colors, right?
Maybe.
But yeah, I'm trying to figure out like what works good for a character like that, because I have been getting my ass kicked left and right, mostly at the temple of the thingy.
Ah, yes, the Temple of the Thingy.
Well, I don't know what
favorite Indiana Jones movie.
Thank you. Yeah. all three of them.
He's like, the Thingy belongs in the museum.
Yeah.
This is getting serious.
Chain Trail says R1 and 2 follow two different ships, which I find pretty curious. I mean, they're two distinct stories, right? I mean, like Mithrix and other dude are brothers, aren't they?
Yeah, Mithrix and Providence are brothers, but
The other dude.
Yeah, I assumed when they said they were following two different ships that it's like, okay, this one's Son Amy, this one's Son Alley. This one over here is Sally Cole.
no, it's like Pikmin, where they keep crashing on the same planet over and over somehow.
Is it the same?
Well, after a certain point, you just have to own up to responsibility for that. Like maybe after a certain point, you just have to look at yourself in the mirror and just be like, "Is it me?"
Yeah, you have to have one of those like.
Yes, they keep crashing on the same planet.
It's always Louis.
It is always Louis.
I thought for a second you said it was always Bluey. I'm like,
I mean, he is blue.
yes, we're gonna bring Bluey into this.
Feeling at this point, I might have to turn the difficulty down.
What are you at right now?
I started at the regular difficulty.
Oh, okay.
So current difficulty level is serious, and the next difficulty down is silly.
Yes, in Pikmin they always crash land on, I forget what they call the planet in game, but it's Earth. They're
like
crash landing on Earth because they're from an alien planet.
Oh, okay.
And I think the idea is that
between all the different
basically the reason they keep crashing is because they come to this planet expecting it to be like a wilderness thing, and they like put their ships in orbit or put their ships nearby, and then like some space junk hits them, and they're like, what? Because you don't explore a random planet and then expect there to be space junk surrounding the entire planet.
She does an RR2 ship is answering with stress call to RR1 ship. That makes sense. Okay. Nice.
Never remember it.
Not that I really like avidly pay attention to the plot in that game, but fair enough.
No.
Jonas, how will you be able to keep up with the lore and the expanded universe?
All I know about the plot is that this one guy goes, brother, and then my robot goes, ahoy.
This is getting
That's right. I made a whole crib sheet of items I like at one point for RR2 because, like, it was the action would get so frenetic I couldn't possibly stop to look it up on the wiki.
Was it the Tales from the Crib Sheet?
Thank you.
Yes. Crypt Keeper.
But Jonas, we got that one mod that would show the details of the items, right?
I remember we did one that showed their names. I don't remember. Did we get one with flavor descriptions?
Yeah, it would tell you what they did and how many of them you currently had.
Well,
while you were in the command menu.
Okay. Well, even so, it was everything. I mean, like, you can't really sit there and select something. You have to be like, okay, I want that, and then you have to dodge the 80 bazillion missiles coming at you from every, bullshit corner of the universe. I don't know.
All the bullshit ones, not any of the honest corners.
Yeah.
Nope.
There are no honest corners in Michigan Brain.
I thought you were just gonna be straight up like there are no honest corners of the internet, and I was gonna be like, fair.
Yeah. No, but like, if that game had come out like when I was, if I had been 20 years younger, I probably would do a lot better at it. Now it's just kind of like I'm just like, okay, I need to take a minute and just assess what's happening. Oh no, everything is shooting at me. Literally everything. The sky's shooting at me. The grass is probably trying to shoot at me. The freaking,
It happens, man.
And yet I can't put this game down.
Well, that sounds like a personal problem to me.
It's funny because like I am finding like I started out with Bandit, which is the kind of like usual long range shooty distance sniper type that I prefer because then you're not in the middle of the action. But now I'm playing like melee characters that just get right in there and start punching shit. It's like, oh, okay, I can deal with this. Funny. Zeronian is raiding with a party of 2.
Zeronian, more like Zeronian. Yeah, I got nothing.
Oh boy, another one of these.
That is a big thing for this guy.
You're a big thing.
I am. Especially after Thanksgiving.
What?
What did you say, Jonas?
I said especially after Thanksgiving,
Oh.
I'm extra
Oh,
full.
I see, okay.
It sounded weird, didn't it?
Yeah, I didn't...
It's like I say weird things once in a while.
I didn't know. It was not that it sounded weird, is that I literally had no comprehension of what you said. Because I thought you were just like...
Jonas just speaking gibberish for no reason?
Yeah, perish the thought.
Thought about making that like a reward. Actually, it is a reward on my Twitch channel, I think.
What, just going gibberish?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a good way to determine if anyone... What?
It's a good way to determine what?
It's a good way to determine if anyone's paying attention.
I was gonna be like, are you sure that's a reward? Are you sure that's not a punishment?
Yeah, you can redeem channel points to make me not talking gibberish.
No gibberish for 10 minutes.
I don't know.
Jonas is like, I'll set the timer.
No promises. Oh my god.
I have actually no idea how I'm gonna do this. I don't even know how he got this far.
Oh, Stoker, since you're here,
Nope.
do you... Okay. I'm compiling a list of games to, pending games that I'm going to be kind of keeping tabs on. Do you have anything you want to add to it? Like ones that are coming out in 2024 at some point. But we don't.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to see what the list has on it. You should send it to me.
Here, let me post it. 1 second.
Once I've seen
Is there
the
any
list.
place that you can hunker down in relative safety?
Nope.
Vermont, maybe?
Yeah. Here you go.
Alright, let's see what you got for me.
Oops, I put you in the middle. Did not mean to do that.
Yeah, so we've got Core Keeper, Paper Trail, Mercury Abbey, Satisfactory. Stoker likes Twitch now.
Yeah.
Pony Island 2, Panda Circus. Oh, Mina the Hollower. Oh, I'm so excited about Mina the Hollower.
Yeah, it looks good.
I am legally
What about lowering the
excited.
difficulty? Can you do that, Rick?
I'm pretty sure I can. I just...
He hasn't decided yet if he wants to. He's on the fence about it.
Secret.
The screaming, for whatever reason, will never stop being funny to me. Just something about people just going like, ah! Like that. I don't know. Makes it sparks joy.
Sparks of fire. Of joy.
Yes. Joy Fire. The new hit single from Frambus.
Oh, Krampus. From the makers of Krampus.
That's right.
Why am I hungry? God damn it. Maybe all the Frambus talk made me crave fried Frambus.
Yes, that seems extremely likely.
Well, you know.
I can think of no other explanation.
I am nothing if not Frambus.
And you are nothing! I'm just kidding, yo. It's your step too.
Anyway, so yeah.
It's happening.
I don't know. We're frambling, okay?
So yeah, I've got Gore Gabler, I've got Paper Trail, Mercury Abbey, Satisfactory, Little Kitty Big City, Gabriel Infinity, Frostpunk 2000 Remake, Pony Island 2, Panda Circus, Deltarune the next chapter, Stardew Valley Update, Hasty Night Chapter 5, Hades 2, The Hollow, Rise of the Golden Windbone, Illusion Man, Stu, Professor Layton, New World Seaman, and Haunted Chocolatier. That's my list.
Any bids?
Anybody?
I mean, you know, I'm gonna say Frostpunk, but like, or are you saying something else is not on that list?
Yeah, is there any, yeah, actually any of you. If you have anything to add to the list, please feel free. I'm going to be checking probably quarterly, like at start of Q2, and then, you know, in the summer, and then probably start of fall. This game is mean. Who knew that a game about all these aggressive aliens would be mean to you?
Yeah, I know, right? Jeez.
But seriously, any games that you want to?
But it could have been anything.
Let me see if there's anything I see on my list. What you
Excuse me.
Let's see. Is there anything to turn down the difficulty?
Rick, you're not cheating, are you?
That's not cheating.
Yes.
If it's
Gibbs.
only
There's,
cheating if it's not there in the options.
there's Born of Bread.
Born of bread? I typed. God damn it! I typed Borg. Borg of bread. Borg of bread.
Brick of bread.
Brick of bread. Very good. Let's see. What's the projected release?
It's out now.
Oh, it's out. Well, I mean, no, this is for future games.
I mean, we haven't played it yet, so it's a
That's
future
true.
game to us.
Okay. Here, oh, this I've seen stills of this. People are like, "Look, Jonas, it's a raccoon," and you automatically like anything with a raccoon in it, so you're gonna like this.
Are
Wow,
they
that's
wrong?
an incredible impression of yourself. I don't think I've ever heard anybody sound more like Jonas than you did.
I do not see
All
anything to turn the difficulty down.
All raccoons are Jonases. That's just how it works.
Yeah, clearly. All right. Well,
I mean, not unless I started a new game at a different difficulty.
Oh, it won't let you. Ooh.
But I'd be able to like select from the start of this area, which means I'd have to start over this area.
Yeah, up to you. Gene's just.
Yeah, that seems to be the only way to do it. Is you have to hit start new game and then start from the chapter you're currently on.
For non-FPS players, score will be multiplied. Who cares about the score? Does anybody actually play for the score?
Tourist. You know, when you select drizzle in Risk of Rain Returns, like the descriptions are really condescending. It's like it's something like gnashing of teeth and wails of anger will be replaced by hugs and tickles or something like that.
God, when you said selecting Drizzle, you made me think of a character that my ex came up with.
Wow, I have to start from all the way over here. Okay.
Mean.
I thought it was going to start after I'd already gotten this.
Apparently not. But no, you made me think of a character that my ex came up with, who was a parody of Drizzt Do'Urden, whose name was Drizzle. There was a whole thing with that. I wonder if they ever did anything with those characters. I should take a look and find out sometime. I like to drizzle. One of my favorite details in Baldur's Gate 3 is when you get to the brothel. What? No comment on that, Jonas?
It felt too easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ew.
Yeah.
Silently judging you.
Stoker's talking about sex things.
That's the game with the pretty vampire, right? What's his name? Asterisk or whatever.
Astarion? Yes, that's the one. Anyway,
you know, you're just like, you know, you just expect him to like drink someone's blood, and he's just like strides over. He's like, "I'm gonna slit your throat now." Oh yeah, he's like, you know, he's doing fingers.
Wow, you do an amazing impression of Astarion's actor. He's totally that's just how he is. Anyway,
I really wish we had someone who could make like animated, you know, little cartoons of our banter. Anyway, go.
Well, you know what, Jonas? Learn how to animate.
Okay.
But there's a pair of drow siblings that you can hire at the establishment. You can hire them separately or together if you're that kinky.
All right.
And there are a lot of very amusing dialogue choices if you go through with this. But one of them, you can ask the drow guy to pretend to be Drizzt Do'Urden.
Nice.
And his response under his breath is just, "Oh, God's not again." And then he's like, "Ah, yes, I am the heroic drow, Drizzt."
Oh my god.
But the funniest option is when you when you hire him and ask him to deliberately be like super boring and dull, and it's like a wicked gleam comes into his eyes. He's like, "I have been asked to do some of the kinkiest shit imaginable, but no, I'm immune to it all, but no one's asked for boring, bad sex." And it turns into like this whole role play that's like, he's like, "I'll try to only last 30 seconds for you." And it's just like, let's just roll over and go to sleep.
God.
So,
I'm reading like
Awkwardly shuffling out of pants.
I'm reading about like how each companion reacts to the Drow twins.
yeah, I'm glad I chose Shadowheart. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh.
Her reaction was the one I was hoping for.
This is so weird. Freaking. I'm just.
There any wonder this one game of the year? No, actually, Warbird, I didn't. Oh, I see it now. Stoker, since vamps are immortal, do you just accumulate hundreds of X's over time? Yes, and funny enough, they all live in Texas.
Yeah, nice. Don't vampires like, but the only ones they can be with are like each other, but they all hate each other, right? Isn't that like the lore?
Well,
like,
no,
they can't stand each other.
I mean, listen, dude. First of all, if you're asking me for consistency in vampire lore, good frickin'
God. So you wrote the vampire manual, okay?
Okay, that's right.
Second edition.
Right. That's right. I am in fact Bram Stoker himself.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised that you haven't made your own consolidated, like, Stoker's official canon.
Oh, no, there's all kinds of details I know about Stoker's canon that I don't share. For instance, he's immune to garlic, but he can be driven hissing from the room with raw onions. He does usually have a reflection, but he cannot activate those automatic sensors on, like, sinks and hand dryers.
Mm-hmm.
Or doors. Automatic door sensors usually don't work for him either.
Did you know that the only reason people cry when they're cutting up onions is because the onions are sad?
Yeah, I can hear them screaming. That's one of my superpowers. Anyway, now, like, the most consistent thing that seems to be the case about, like, vampire lore in fiction when it comes to their, their great, loves and all of that, is that vampires cannot frickin' move on from anything.
I thought you say they can't move. I'm like...
Yeah, they can't move. Sorry, guys. Like,
they need a U-Haul truck. Anyway, go on.
Vampire was in love with, hot chick von Gothenstein back in 1784. It's like 300 years later, he still hasn't gotten over her yet. And anytime he sees someone who looks like her, he's like, oh, she's been reincarnated! This is my chance to win her! And then it inevitably fails. And he just waits for her next reincarnation. And it's just like, just get therapy. Yeah, Simon, not Simon, Sheen Trail is the one who says, ironic for someone immortal not to be able to move on. I think that's kind of, like, the point. It's like, you know, the metaphor, if we're to read into this, is we have, someone who's trying to freeze time, to keep themselves young and sexy, and, evade, you know, death and aging and all those natural human things. And in a way, they also psychologically freeze themselves. They cannot evolve, adapt, or anything like that. That's if people are actually thinking that much about it, which I doubt. I think most people are just doing it because everybody's copying everyone else.
Oh, shoot.
And you know where the reincarnated love story thing came from, right? This is everyone's cue to be like, Stoker, please tell us, where did it come from?
Where did it come from, Stoker?
Why, thank you, Ray! So, the whole vampire falling in love with the person that they are convinced is the reincarnation of their long-lost love has a weird, a circuitous history to how it became like omnipresent in vampire fiction, because most people, yes, it's Inuyasha. Most people whose only exposure to the Dracula story is the 1992 movie Bram Stoker's Dracula assume that this was something that was present in the novel, but no. The first time, to the best of my knowledge, that this was presented in a vampire story on screen was in a 1960s soap opera called Dark Shadows, where there was a vampire named Barnabas Collins, and he was obsessed with his long-lost love, Josette, whom he was convinced had reincarnated as like a waitress in the 1960s, and drama ensued. And then the same guy who created Dark Shadows did a made-for-TV movie version of Dracula, where he ripped off his own reincarnated love storyline. He literally said, I just plagiarized myself. And then that, in turn, got ripped off by Francis Ford Coppola when he made Bram Stoker's Dracula. But, honestly, to the best of my knowledge, the oldest example of the ancient undead sorceress entity in love with a woman that is the reincarnation of a woman it was in love with before is actually the Universal Mummy movie from the 1930s. Which, in a weird way, was kind of like a remake of Dracula, but with all the characters reskinned. So, I don't know. Things go full circle, Ouroboros, Ken Penders, you know, that kind of stuff.
This might be too easy at this point. Go down one step. I can carry 50% more ammo for every single weapon. All the enemies seem to have 30% less health. They do 50% less damage. I can have more health at any one time.
So what you need is an in-between difficulty.
Yeah.
Back! Welcome back. We were talking about Barnabas Collins.
See, look at this. I can tank so much stuff to my face.
Your face can tank so much stuff to your face.
But yeah, I'm glad to see some of you in the chat have actually heard of Old Barnabas. I think I've mentioned, I think I've probably mentioned before, but I was basically raised by senior citizens the way that feral children are raised by wolves. So,
yes. You're in the forest and, like, on all fours and, like, and they, like, tie you to, like, take down, you know, goats.
And they're like, quiet down, we're trying to watch reruns of Lawrence Welk. But so I grew up being very familiar with a lot of pop culture from way before my time. I, honestly, for the longest time, I was more familiar with it than things that were actually on the air when I was a kid. Like, I could have told you a whole bunch of shit about, like, Bewitched, but I couldn't have told you much about, like, I don't know, what was big when I was in school, 90210.
I never watched
90210,
so I don't know.
I mean, why would you? Why would you?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
It's like watching the OC or Dawson's Creek or something like that.
I knew people who watched those shows. But
well, yeah, everybody knows people who watch those shows, and they're, you know, they have their audience. They're a particular form of, like, I'm not here to like, you know, shit on trash TV, because, I mean, it absolutely has its place.
Anyway, go on.
But yeah, so like I was very familiar with things like, you know, Dark Shadow. And like, is he just rolling down that hill? He sure was just rolling down that hill for a bit. Doodles, yeah. I was not around for the initial run of Dark Shadows, but I did watch quite a few reruns of it on the Sci-Fi Channel when I was in like high school. I think I got... When did I stop watching? I think actually... Oh, it's one of those. Be careful.
Yep.
I think I stopped watching after they started doing the parallel universes stuff. Like, Dark Shadows got really weird, y'all. Like, people hear about it now and they're like, oh, it was the soap opera with vampires and werewolves, and like, no. It got way weirder than that. You had vampires, werewolves, time travel, alternate universes.
So they were kind of mining the whole Doctor Who grab bag a little bit, huh?
A little bit, yeah, because, like, I mean, the series was initially conceived of as just, like, a gothic soap opera, in the sense that, like, you know, Wuthering Heights or Jane Eyre were gothic novels. It didn't have any overt horror elements right out the gate. And it really struggled to find an audience. And they had one episode that had, like, a ghost in it, and that saw a slight bump in viewership, or not one episode, one story arc. And they were like, oh, so maybe they like the supernatural stuff. And then they introduced this really weird concept. One of the characters had a mom who was like this perpetually reincarnating entity called the Phoenix. And her name was Jean Grey. And but
I was about to ask if X-Men stole that.
Yeah, right. And that seemed to do pretty well. So they were like, what could we do that's weirder than that? How far can we go with that? And they're like, what about a vampire? And it was literally the first regular vampire character who was like a regular member of the cast that had ever been done in television history. And their plan was to have him as the antagonist for a story arc or two and then just stake him. But he caused the ratings to skyrocket, so he kind of, over a couple of story arcs, the entire show sort of became retooled around him as the main character. First as an anti-hero, and then just straight up as a hero.
I caught like 2 or 3 episodes of Dark Shadows when I was young, because they'd show them out of order on PBS sometimes.
Oh, out of order? That's impossible!
Yeah. Imagine that, right?
It's
but Stoker, serialization. Every show must be serialized.
But, I mean, Dark Shadows was a soap opera. If you're not watching it in order, it's gonna be gibberish.
Well, I mean, okay. you gotta understand, 8-year-old me had like the attention span of a goldfish. Okay, I'm just not even gonna deny that. Well, you haven't changed, Jonas. Shut up.
Come in, HQ.
But
Red plasma is far
I'm trying to think of
as I
what
can see.
like
Oh my
of that
God,
kind
the
of thing
whole
I watched as a
sidewalk is
kid.
lit up. This
I
gives
think
us
it
a
was
fighting
Charmed.
chance.
my grandparents really liked
And you're going home,
like watching
soldier.
Nick at Night, so I
Right on
remember
time.
catching a
Nick
lot
at
of like
Night.
yeah, I remember catching like a lot of
Thanks.
Mr.
Here's
Ed
a
with
hot
them,
meal and a beer.
which just
God, Mr. Ed.
Yeah.
You know, I remember my mom gave up on watching Mr. Ed after she saw Ed and Wilbur dancing at the end of an episode. Like, they were doing, like, ballroom dancing, and she's like, nope, this is too stupid. And I'm like, that was your line? That was the point where...
Was Mr. Ed the horse?
Mr. Ed was the horse, yes. He was the
Okay.
talking horse. A horse is a horse, of course, of course.
Jesus,
And yeah, so
hell,
Wilbur, the
Father,
one
fire
person who
Christ.
knows he can
What
talk,
now?
yeah, they were ballroom dancing. And Mom was like, nope, that's it. This show is too stupid. And I'm just like, wow, what a high threshold you had. Hey Jonas, talking about shows that were too stupid to air, have you ever heard of My Mother the Car?
that vaguely rings a bell. Was that like a pilot that never got made?
Yeah, they only made like somewhere between like 1 and like, I don't know, 3 or 4 episodes. And let me pull up the premise for this, okay?
Please.
It starred what was his name? Dick Van Dyke's brother.
Rick Van Dyke.
No,
Rick Van Dyke.
Rick Van. It's no Rick Van Dyke. Jerry Van Dyke. That's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick Van Griffin. They made 30 episodes of this thing?
Dick Van Dyke is like, it's weird to realize that he's still alive.
Oh yeah, have you seen
I guess that's
what,
not, I guess that's not a nice thing to say, but
have you seen how he decorates for Halloween?
no, I haven't. He never invites me over.
You need to look this up. You need to look this up, dude. His Halloween decorations have huge Stoker energy. Like, the man goes all out with crazy animatronics and stuff. It's wild.
Nice.
You would not have expected Dick Van Dyke to go the directions he does for Halloween, but it's great.
I'm gonna assume that he gets help doing this.
No, he does it all by himself, okay? All he does is he does a little song and dance while he's doing it.
He does, like, he points and goes, "Zah!" And like it just, there's a little like animated twinkle, from his fingers. And his...
Occasionally, for the really complex stuff, he'll enlist some animated penguins as assistants, but otherwise it's all him.
Do a little soft show. Anyway, I wish I had animated penguins.
Anyway, so the plot of My Mother the Car is about a man whose deceased mother comes back as his car. And it's real bad.
I feel like somebody's linked me to this. Is it on YouTube? It's probably on YouTube, isn't it?
I don't know. They apparently made 30 episodes of this, but very little of it actually aired because it was so bad.
Wow.
And
yeah, it is on YouTube. I have seen this.
And Jerry Van Dyke, in the best the best decision of his entire career, obviously. He took this show over another sitcom that he was offered, and the sitcom that he turned down in favor of My Mother the Car was Gilligan's Island.
Oof.
So that's he was offered the title character. Yeah. He was going to play the island.
How does mean this is in fact this is real and it's all on YouTube. Every episode.
That's yeah, it sounds fake, but it's real.
Fucking, what was it, 70s? Like No, 65. Okay.
60s, yeah. No. This was at the height of when sitcoms were just let's come up with the dumbest concept we possibly can.
Yeah. No.
Like or not even just dumb, but weird. Sitcom concepts were weird in the 60s. It wasn't.
Good.
I was like the stuff that was popular then, you know, it was Gilligan's Island, the Addams Family, the Munsters, the Beverly Hillbillies.
Well, the weird
Mr. Ed.
Well, the weird, wacky, quasi-magical sitcom scenario that persisted well into the 80s. I mean, you still had stuff like Small Wonder, you know. I think it was only really about the 90s when like stuff like Friends started to take over that people are like, okay, we can't do this wacky premise anymore.
I mean, yeah, but like, how many people? I mean, they kept trying it.
Yeah.
But if you were to ask people to name like, you know, sitcoms of the 80s, I don't think they'd mention things like Small Wonder. Probably the most out there sitcom of the 80s that anyone actually remembers is Alf.
Oh, okay. Does anyone remember? Go ahead.
Does anyone remember what?
Does anyone
remember Alf? I had a guinea pig named Alf because he was the same color and he had that same fro.
He's back in pog form.
He's back in pog form.
Does anyone remember Out of This World? Nah.
The title is ringing vague bells.
Would you like to swing?
Yeah, I barely even take any splash damage from rockets.
Yeah,
like
that seemed kind of ridiculous. You shouldn't really be able to be using these in such a cramped environment.
Nah, but I mean, like, when you want to talk about, like, popular sitcoms in the 80s, you're probably going to think of things like, you know, Full House.
Family
or,
Ties.
Perfect Strangers.
Perfect Strangers.
Growing Pains. Actually, was Growing Pains 80s or 90s? It doesn't.
No, Growing Pains was 80s.
Did Garbage Pail Kids get a TV show?
I don't think so.
They had a movie. There was a movie.
Technically, that was a movie.
Yeah, it was.
Technically, that was a movie.
Yeah. Like, wasn't it like one of those deals where like it was on screen in like one theater in like Nebraska for like an afternoon or something like that?
Yeah, and they
like,
locked
okay,
the doors, and those people are still trapped there to this very day.
Still hear the screaming. Married with Children, popular in the 80s. I think Married with Children was, I think it was early 90s. Don't quote me on that, though. It's been a while.
I'm going to quote Jonas on that.
Okay, fine.
Clip it.
Yeah, clip it, Boxer. Don't clip it.
Was Cheers 80s?
Yes, it was. Cheers.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Married with Children debuted in 1987, so that's 80s. Technically, The Simpsons debuted in the 80s.
That's true.
Just barely.
Yeah. It was like 89. Yeah. God.
Let's see. I'm looking at some other things. Night Court. Family Matters. Did that start in the 80s? It did, just barely.
Did it? Sure.
Just barely. The Wonder Years. I wouldn't call that a sitcom, though.
No, Wonder Years was like a teen drama. With
Seinfeld started in the 80s? 89.
Yes, it did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my grandma really liked Seinfeld. My Jewish grandma.
Oh, Roseanne. How can I forget that? Charles in Charge.
Yes, Roseanne. That show that was written by the guy that works now as the head designer of Magic the Gathering.
Well, really?
Yeah. He wrote an episode. He was not the writer of Roseanne. He wrote an episode of the show.
Was Roseanne the show that started the whole thing about, and then the last season was just a dream?
No,
that was
Dallas, that was Newhart. That was Newhart that started that.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, it's the first one. What was that voice, Jonas? Okay, so, like...
Excuse me. Baby shampoo.
It's lady shampoo.
No, this is baby shampoo. That's what this voice is.
No, actually, I take it back. That trope predates Newhart, but as far as I'm aware, Newhart was the first one to do it in a sitcom.
I feel okay. Well, I mean, there were you're talking about like the whole show was a dream.
Yeah. So the very last episode of Newhart, because Newhart was the second sitcom,
right.
that had been built around Bob Newhart.
Right. First one was Bob Newhart show.
Yeah, the first one was the Bob Newhart show, which was in the 70s and which was very popular.
Yeah.
And is actually still pretty funny. That one aged pretty well from what from the last time I saw it. And Newhart was basically the new sitcom in the 80s. And it was just him in a completely different setting playing a completely different character. But every now and then they'd have, little nudge, nudge, wink, wink jokes.
Yeah.
Being like, hey, remember when he was in this other sitcom a decade ago? And then in the final episode, they had him waking up in bed next to his wife from the original sitcom to reveal that the entirety of Newhart, the sitcom, was a dream.
Mm-hmm. Right, Jen?
Yeah. And his wife in the original sitcom, since we are furries, might as well bring this back to the furry angle. The actress's name was Suzanne Plachette, and she was the voice of Zira in The Lion King 2.
Oh, that's weird. I thought for a second you were going to be like, since we're furries, we're going to mention the fact that she was just an anthropomorphic cat for no reason.
Yeah, you know what? You know what, though? Wouldn't that be a great sitcom?
God. See, the way I'm... Okay, if it were the 80s, the cat would be a goddamn Muppet. And, I mean... Yeah, you could...
Yeah, but that wouldn't be funny.
Okay, you could do it, but...
Which era was the cats with the gigantic hair?
Oh, you mean the anime cat girls?
Like...
You mean like from Dominion Tank Police? That's
definitely 80s.
Yeah, that was 80s.
Yeah, 80s.
Yeah, that's like late 70s going into 80s is when you have the early species of anime cat girl that eventually evolved into today's cat girl.
The megafauna that has been domesticated.
Yes.
The saber-toothed cat girls with the...
Exactly, and then they became smaller and more specialized over time.
They were hunting the hot mammoth girls.
Yeah, they were hunting the Conans of their world.
No,
Brain, stop picturing it.
Yeah, start drawing it.
Yes, stop picturing it. The hands, start drawing
it.
Get out of my dreams and into my car.
Actually, get out of my plans and onto my page.
Get out of my plans and into my anyway,
Into your penny?
Yes. Wait. What? No. I mean, it still kind of works.
I swear the AI
Did
is
he
slightly
encounter with
different,
the
Ashley says
on a cat girl?
Deviant's curse is trigger phrase has been activated. He just pops up in the chat. I heard Penny, what I missed.
Keyword.
Deviant's curse, you haven't missed anything. I mean, other than us talking about Suzanne Plachette. She was also in The Birds. You ever see The Birds, Jonas?
It's been a while.
For those of you who don't know The Birds, that's the movie with all those birds in it.
Well, that's me. I'm the birds.
No, I remember I caught like they showed like a heavily edited version on as like on like one of those like TV like the ABC Sunday movie with planes crashing, one of those,
Mm-hmm.
And I caught about half of it, and then I think Mom like didn't want me watching it, even though it was heavily edited, and even then it wasn't that graphic. It was just
of course not. Of course not. The Birds is not a super graphic movie. There is one very graphic shot in that entire movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if you know, we hadn't yet reached the gore picture stage of horror movies. I mean, Hitchcock still would have played it a bit more with a bit more restraint.
No, the one thing I remember the most is like, what's her name, Louise Beehive, making a phone call in a
Louise Beehive. She doesn't even have a beehive hairdo. Look. The actress's name is Tippi Hedren.
Yes. Better known in America as Louise Beehive.
Jonas?
Don Louis Beehive.
Yes. But yeah, she's making a phone call, and like the dude, like the dude's getting like murdered by seagulls, and he's just like presses up against the glass and smears like, bleh. You know.
Well, I mean, that's just typical California, right?
Yeah,
there.
that's true. It's rough down there.
You go to the beach, and you better have something to distract the seagulls, or you will end up picked clean to the bone.
Mm-hmm. They're like air piranhas.
Air piranhas.
The only way I was able to fight them was by developing my California powers.
Just Boxer asked Stoker, are you sure that you are not talking about Birdemic? I am not talking about Birdemic.
Nah, that one didn't have Louise Beehive.
Jonas.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am this close to pressing the eject button that launches you into space.
I knew I shouldn't have bought this chair.
Did you know there are 3 Birdemic movies?
I'm not surprised.
You can buy, like, the whole trilogy on Blu-ray in a boxed set. And don't think I haven't been tempted. Have you ever seen any of Birdemic, Jonas?
I can't say. I mean, I think my friend had it on TV at one of its parties, and I didn't pay much attention. Sorry.
But Jonas,
I know I'm probably missing.
How would you follow the plot?
Yeah, I'm sure I'm missing, some cinema verite, but oh well.
You are definitely missing an extremely unique experience. It's of all the movies I've ever seen, that was definitely one of them. The Hot Sauce Fiend in chat is like too busy watching Sharknado to watch Birdemic. What if they do a crossover? What if they do Sharknado versus Birdemic?
Obviously, James Nguyen is way too much of an auteur to work with Asylum.
Hey Jonas, what would you consider the worst movie you've ever seen? Actually, I'm gonna give you 2 choices. The worst movie you've ever seen that you still enjoyed because it was one of those so bad it's good kind of movies, and the worst movie you've ever seen that just felt like suffering.
Probably for the first category, one of the MST3K movies, like Manos or something like that. What would be for the second category? I'd have to think about it because I tend to blot those out. Like, I mean, maybe that one about the killer mattress. I don't know.
Deathbed?
Yeah.
It's a great name.
Yeah, you want to... Like, listen, I don't want to brag, but...
There's so many horror movies where they literally come up with the title and then they're like, okay, what's the actual movie?
I mean,
I don't want to brag, but can we appreciate the fact that I immediately knew the title was Deathbed, the Bed That Eats?
Yeah. Let me think. I mean, I saw Event Horizon in theaters. My friend,
which category would you put that into?
I'm not sure. Well, okay.
Everybody feels that way about Event Horizon.
It had it had like A-list actors. It had Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Neill.
Yeah, Sam Neill's role was really eye-popping. Go on.
Yeah, thank you. And my friend Chris sold it to me like, oh yeah, it's gonna be this awesome high concept horror movie. It's hell in space, and I'm like, whatever. And I just
Drifter Crops is rating Party 7.
hello. Hi.
Drifter Clops Party of 7. Drifter Clops Party of 7. Your table is now available.
There's probably a shitty movie that I'm forgetting that I've seen at some point. But
I think for a movie where I watch it and I'm like, this is just bad and I'm not having a good time with it, the one that comes to mind for me was Dinosaur, the 2000 Disney CG movie.
Yes.
I knew somebody who worked on that.
Where I was
I thought you were going to say, I knew somebody who saw that.
Yeah. No, I knew an animator. I knew an animator who, I don't know what she did exactly on it, but it was in her portfolio.
And I think for me, the only movie that I can recall ever being kind of a so bad it's good was like the Ghost Rider with
Nicolas Cage.
The one that was so bad that I just was not having a good time with it. I think I brought this up already, but the Digimon movie,
which
American
one?
version of it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
With all
the three of them that were butchered and then stapled together like some kind of movie
Frankenstein.
The movie centipede.
It's like, here's what we'll do. We'll take them, we'll butcher them, we'll slap them all together, and then all the stuff we cut out, we'll have Kyrie narrating over every scene through the entire thing, because that won't get old.
Yeah. I didn't... okay, Digimon was a situation where I didn't appreciate how much better the original series and media were until I actually saw them and had a chance to compare. That was one of those moments where it's like, I was finally starting to realize, the source material can be better. Go Lion's better than Voltron. Fire Ranger's better than Power Ranger, etc.
Go Lion basically doesn't exist anymore. It's been completely subsumed by Voltron.
Yeah. It's fine. I'm not gonna if people prefer the American versions and stuff, that's okay. They're just wrong.
It can be wrong.
What's his name? Yes, Carl Masek.
I met him. I probably told that story before.
Yeah, you've mentioned.
Yeah.
The term they use for doing that is masacring.
Yeah.
But
I get why people thought, we gotta take localization to this ridiculous extreme, but come on. The same philosophy produced some really awful '90s dubs that are.
Okay, but the Yu-Gi-Oh dub was amazing.
I know I've brought this up before, but I really love when dubs of anime that are made kid-friendly directly insult the audience's intelligence to try to make you believe, those moments the pilots jumped out, I can see their parachutes, or frickin' I know I've brought this up before, but my absolute favorite one, which is from Dragon Ball Z, is the one where the show literally tells you didn't see something that you just saw. And I feel like that was feel like that was deliberate on the parts of the people who were like, well, we can't edit this out because...
Go on.
They couldn't edit it out because it would it would screw up the episode, so they're just like, whatever, we'll just pretend it didn't happen immediately after it happened.
Sam, it's too big. You can't.
What did they call hell in the EBZ dub? It was like Home for Infinite Losers or something.
Home for Infinite
Hiffle.
Losers, yeah. Hiffle.
Woozles. I mean, yeah, I'm not, I don't. If someone prefers the dub, that's cool. It's all good. But I don't like those where they try and pull the punches like that. It's like, come on, it's okay. It's not gonna they're probably thinking like, oh, it'll traumatize American kids or something like that. But
Could use a little traumatizing.
yeah,
Yeah. After all, I got traumatized by things as a kid, and look how I turned out.
Now, okay.
Look how I turned out.
I will say that when I saw Akira, I was, let's see, I would have been about 4, I was living on the west side, so I would have been 14. And that might have been a little too young.
Why did you turn into Kermit the Frog for a minute there?
That's my, that's...
That might be a little
that's
too young
started
to
as
see
a
Akira.
Yeah, that's how I sounded. It was an awkward puberty.
Hey, I am Jonas the Raccoon.
I was briefly a Muppet, Anyway, but no, I was,
I'm half Muppet on my father's side.
Everyone go through a Muppet phase in life? I mean, Anyway,
yeah, it's you can see it in any biology textbook.
Yeah,
that's one of the stages of development.
Sometimes we're all made of flannel, Anyway,
I don't know, man. I feel like 14 is just about ideal for seeing Akira.
I thought, oh, I can handle this. Japanimation, this adult trend. Because that's what they called it back then.
Yeah, I remember.
And I wasn't quite ready for that. But I mean, that's just me. That's the extreme example. That's like, okay, this is that's too much. So there's definitely a range.
I think I was too young when I watched Akira just because I didn't understand what was going on. Like, the plot just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Well, the other thing about Akira is that it's heavily condensed down from a massive multi-volume manga, an MMO, where they get into much greater length as far as all the plot points and characters and stuff, and you learn a lot more about the background of Akira and the project that created him, and yada yada yada.
All the weird blue children,
the little blue. They were all part of the same human experimentation project.
They were all on the same yellow submarine.
That's right.
But yeah, it's sometimes you can edit down a longer saga and make it work, and sometimes you end up with M. Night Shyamalan's The Last Airbender. Like, it's all about it's all in the wrist.
Has he done anything that's gotten like more than 50% Rotten Tomatoes in the
Yeah, he's had a little bit of a semi-quasi redemption arc. Like, none of his stuff is as nothing has reached the heights of near universal praise that The Sixth Sense did.
Yeah, I love Sixth Sense.
But he's no longer like a punchline anymore. He has clawed back a certain degree of respectability.
Good for him.
This is getting too serious.
Dude, what's great is I forget who coined the term Japanimation. I wonder if it was the Sci-Fi Channel, because that's where I first heard it.
I first heard it from Strong Bad.
Was it? Okay.
Yep, it was Strong Bad. It was definitely strong. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
The first time I ever saw it was when there was an advertisement for anime movies on like VHS or something from Columbia House or whatever, and they were like, animation from Japan, it's not for kids.
Yeah, they were like,
sounds familiar.
They're like, you've ever seen anything like this?
And they had like brief little clips that were just like tantalizing little hints that's like, I'm being crushed by a monster! Ah! And they'd like cut away just before it got graphic or whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
or they'd show like Motoko doing like a sexy pose or whatever.
Yeah, or sometimes it was even just like Project Echo, you know? I mean, or I remember one that was like, we're seeing stuff for like Project Echo. We're seeing stuff for Bubblegum Crisis. Mini Tank Police. What else? Yeah, no, they were selling it like it was. I mean, it was definitely different from American animation at the time. You know, that's.
But they were making it sound like it was dangerous.
Yeah. Like your parents don't want you watching this. It's an info hazard, you know.
This is a cognito hazard. You don't understand what that means yet, but you will someday.
Yeah. It's Cater level. Look it up.
Looking at Bubblegum Crisis. Yeah, this is from that era.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this this hair.
Yeah. You're looking at Pris or Celia with the yeah. Actually, they all had big hair, didn't they?
Well, I'm looking at the blonde one.
God, I saw that at Anime America '93, and it just, God.
I want to go back and watch anime like this, mostly for like the lighting and how the animation was done for that.
Oh yeah,
I mean it's all it's cell stuff, so it has such a different look and feel to it.
And to do stuff like they would do effects for like bright light effects, they would shine stuff behind the cell when they shot it.
I love shit like that, man.
Yeah, I have a GIF here saved from one of my favorite examples of that. I can find it on Twitter.
There was God.
There it is.
God, I remember this.
Just that type of animation.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
Doodle says it dates back to the 60s. Okay, you know what? I believe it. I was the only thing I was aware of from that era was Speed Racer, and I only became aware of Speed Racer long after it was,
I remember watching Speed Racer as a kid, and not grasping how much of a psychopath he was.
Yeah, there's some really great YouTube compilations that are just like Speed Racer.
I don't remember that many guns.
Compilations of Speed Racer just killing people and not caring.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
A fellow racer being like, I need to win that money for my sister's medicine. And she's like, I don't care, I'm gonna win.
Look at that! He's going over that cliff! Ah!
That one's a really good one. Oh, God. How did anyone anywhere turn out normal?
Because they lie. Yeah. Norma is only a setting on a washing machine.
That's a great impression of a normal person there.
That was good. I like it. Was Speed Racer 70s? Okay.
Christ, I think I killed half the known universe back there.
Was it 70s?
It
might have aired here in the 70s.
Yeah, I thought it was late 60s.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. No, not the 2006 movie. Google, shut up.
I still kind of want to see that.
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
It was 1967 when it
67
first was on TV.
Right.
It was written back in like the early 60s.
Yeah.
It was literally
shot out of a helicopter again.
Nice.
You know.
Sam just cannot get anywhere.
Listen, you can't make an omelet without shooting someone out of a helicopter.
How many helicopters have been destroyed in this game so far?
Speed Racer was illustrated as a manga in '66 and became a show in '67. So even back then, they still had the same extremely fast turnover from manga to anime that they do nowadays.
Yeah, that tracks.
You ever like watch a show where they run out of tracks for a while? Like they run out of material, so they have to like do filler episodes with fill-ins.
No, Jonas, none of us.
Gintama did an episode about that.
None of us have ever had this experience, Jonas. What are you talking about?
Thank you. Yeah. No, but like you look at the bad guy that we can think, okay, he's gonna have zero impact on the story whatsoever, and they're gonna like poke him and they'll just fall over and break his everything. You know?
Did I ever tell you about the filler episode of Rurouni Kenshin about the sumo wrestler who couldn't win a match unless someone pinched his ass? Because that's a real thing.
Oh no, I believe it. I believe it. But yeah, I'm kind of the opinion that like they really need to like wait until a manga's completed its run. I mean, they're of course they don't, but I think that way you don't end up with situations where you're either contradicting canon or like you're just making up shit.
Time to go to the beach.
Like I don't really care. Like it's I'll still watch crap. I mean, Naruto was filler for what, like 2 years? 2 years.
I know that they make charts for shonen anime that are like, these are the episodes that are canon, these are the ones that are filler, these are the ones that are canon, but you don't really need to watch.
What a time to be alive.
Mm-hmm.
What a time to be dead.
Hey, I have really fallen off.
What a day to be literate.
Yeah. What a day to have
What
eyes.
a terrible day to have Yeah, you got me. You got to before I did.
Now I've kind of fallen off on anime. Like, it's one of those things, like platforms where I just go through phases where it's like, okay, there's good shit happening, and then for a while it's just like, no, it's nothing interesting.
Honestly, feel like anime has just kind of fallen off.
Hang on a second. I just have a quick question. I just saw in the chat some time ago, Deviant's Curse said, what the fuck does that mean, Stoker? And I have no idea what he's talking about. Please elaborate.
Yeah.
With me, it could be anything. Anyway, yeah.
My problem with anime is that a lot of it is just very generic, and I've just seen a lot of anime, so it's like, it just isn't interesting anymore.
I mean,
once in a while something will come along like Mob Psycho 100 or something that's different enough that it's like, oh, this is neat, but...
I was kind of hooked on Trigger for a while because it felt like they were doing really weird, different shit. But they're not really doing much of anything at the moment, so it's kind of like, I know
how'd you feel about that one show where clothes turned out to be aliens, and it was the humans' job to disrobe and fight the aliens in their full nudity?
Kill la Kill.
That was as close to what an anime written by me would actually be like. Like, not exactly on the nose. There are a few things they did in that I definitely would not have done. But pretty dang close.
I liked most of it, not all of it. I felt like, well, I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but I felt like later on towards the end, it got a little, it wasn't quite as much fun as in the begining. But it's still good. I mean,
I only saw
that was
a couple episodes of the show. I didn't really get very far into it.
I'm trying to remember if that was Trigger or Gynax. It must have been.
That was Trigger.
It was Trigger.
That was Trigger.
I'm 90% sure.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they're doing more painting and stocking. I am looking forward to that. I enjoyed that series, as strange as it was.
Oh my God! God,
And yeah, I look forward to that. I'm trying to think of anything else. What else am I looking forward to? I don't know. Like, I only hear, I don't pay as much attention to this stuff. There was a site, there was a blog that just perfectly summarized all this stuff, and I would just check it every month or so, and I think it eventually got eaten by the squishalope.
I'm gonna guess Has Been Hotel doesn't count as anime.
No.
It absolutely does not count as anime. If there were anyone trying to fight on that hill, I would die on it.
Anime is only made in Japan and France.
France.
And
specifically the anime region of France.
That's right.
That's right.
Like Animation Félix.
Otherwise, it's just sparkling cartoons.
Yeah, I mean, sparkling cartoons. Is that like sparkling wine?
Yes, that was the joke.
Yes, that's the joke.
Excuse me. Sorry, I got a little choked up there. Why is this scream still so funny to me?
Because it sounds like Barney from The Simpsons.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, you never hear it.
It also just sounds like Barney from Blue Shift.
It sounds like Barney Rubble when he runs it with bombs in his hand.
Sounds like that one episode of the Andy Griffith Show where Barney Fife had to shoot demons. You know the one.
Yeah, that one.
the Barney Demon episode.
Yeah.
It was their most groundbreaking episode ever.
TV's Curse is like you call Digital Circuits a Family Guy show. Did you say that, Stoker?
I didn't do it. That's what Miller said. Something
Miller said
like
that. Miller? Really?
I'm not. Yes, but no. You're missing a whole lot of context, and I don't want to get into it.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. We know like 3 people in this. Well, some of us know. We all know Sean.
You know what anime I watched recently that I thought was pretty good?
What's that?
Crybaby, Devilman Crybaby.
Oh yeah,
Probably,
that's the one with Devilman in it, isn't it?
Yes.
And also Crybaby.
Well, no, the Devilman has a Crybaby.
You know, since you brought up Devilman. The creator of Devilman, I haven't actually seen any of this show, this manga or its adaptations, but the creator of Devilman did also come up with another series that sure does sound like something that I would have come up with. It was called Kekko Common. Do you remember this one, Jonas?
Vaguely.
Is the common meaning like common writer kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a masked hero show, but the masked hero, Kekko Common herself, wears nothing but the mask. And again, this is why I say it sounds like something I would have come up with.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar. Wasn't there something like that before? but it was a guy, and he was when he transformed it, he was only in his underwear or something.
I mean, we're talking about Japan. There are probably a lot of variations on this particular theme. Let's be real. No, like, I think the premise of this show was like there's a school, like an academy, Japanese high school something, I don't know. And of course, I remember specifically, because again, I must emphasize, I've never actually read this or seen anything other than the occasional clip from it. And there are, in fact, live-action adaptations of this. Yeah. But, like, the school is like this evil institution run by an evil principal whose name translates to something like the Devil's Toenail. And not making this up.
No, I know.
And like his evil schemes are foiled by this mysterious hero, and nobody knows who she is. Because nobody's seen her face. They sure have seen everything else, but nobody's seen her face. And her, like, ultimate weapon is literally just leaping into the air spread-eagled, and this blinding, dazzling light shines forth from a certain location, and everyone's like, oh!
Basically, Gona Guy was really horny.
No kidding. And this is the same creator as Devil May Cry, baby. What did you find, Ray?
It was hentai comment.
Kyosuke
is the son of a fallen competent dominatrix.
Well, that certainly is the beginning of a premise.
Yes, he has to use women's panties to transform into his common rider form.
I need a vacation.
This was a movie.
Of course he does. Why wouldn't it be a movie? Like, this is such a sweeping epic.
2013 Japanese superhero comedy film.
God,
Who needs a vacation when you got a rocket launcher?
Oh, there's a live action. There's several sequels and stuff. Amazing.
Jonas, are you muttering to yourself again?
No, I'm just looking at like stills from these. This is incredible. I can't even.
Roscoe Madosco asks, is it true that non-sexual nudity is allowed on Twitch now? We had a whole discussion about that earlier.
I was watching... Go ahead, sorry.
It seems like we think yes, but we're not sure yet. Go on, Jonas.
No, I was watching Sylvix's stream earlier, and like 7 or 8 people brought it up, including me.
What did she have to say about it?
Oh, she made a whole announcement on her Discord about it. She's going to apparently gradually phase in the occasional mildly NSFW stream, but she's taking a wait and see attitude, which is kind of like how I feel about it.
That's completely and totally fair.
Because, like I said earlier, we need to wait and see. First of all, we need to see how they handle the edge cases, because they're going to be edge cases.
Yeah, we got to see how they handle people edging.
Mm-hmm. We got to find out. We got to see if it applies to just drawn content on the screen, or also like.
Yeah, it doesn't apply to when you're not making the content, because they say they want to do this as like, opening up to artists and stuff, but like, what if you're doing a VTuber and you're not on stream making the character, but your character that's on the screen is exposed or whatever?
Yeah, and of course the question, the other question is, does this all apply? Does this all also apply to furry characters?
Yeah, because sometimes sites have had a tendency in the past to do double standards like that.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like this sort of thing. I mean, I applaud Twitch for doing this. I think it's a positive move.
I mean, but it's probably good for them. I know quite a few artists who have talked about shifting streams over from Picardo to Twitch.
I still okay. It's. I'm not sure if I would do it myself. Like, I have no problem with other people doing it. I don't know. I'm gonna wait. You know, like I said, I'm gonna wait and see. And assuming everything is kosher.
Yeah, if everything is like, okay, well, here's the thing I would say for like the stuff that Rick, you and Jonas make on stream is that they specifically said no intercourse,
boners. Right? Yeah. Which is fine.
No actual pornographic content. It's meant to be more just like, you know,
nudity happens.
Yeah, nudity happens. You know what? If you go to a beach and you see a woman without a top on, you don't get freaked. Even if it's not a nude beach, you don't get freaked out about it.
At least not if you're sane.
Yeah.
God, I remember the first time I went to a nude beach.
Yes.
I
won't be
assume it's
sharing any
a
of that
terrible
story.
experience because it's just a lot of really old, flabby people.
Yeah. It's always a bunch of like old hippie dudes.
It's always the people who want to take advantage of it, and never anybody who has anything of interest to offer.
Well, that depends on what you think the point of it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say it depends on what you're into, but
no, I was gonna say like it depends on what you think the point of it is. Whether you think the point of it is, you know, just to relax, get some sun, enjoy the weather, or if you think the point of it is to like be seen and or to get a hookup or whatever. It's all about what you're going for.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine like going to a place like that and scoping and people out. But I mean, that's me. I mean, I just.
It's because Jonas is a good roommate.
No, I just, it's...
Jonas, you're never gonna find a flower to pollinate if you don't put yourself out there, you know?
Okay.
Can I say it any more like...
Miller got his birds and the bees talk mixed up.
How can I say this more of like aggressively cis hetero? Like, you need to get out there and make babies now.
Okay.
That biological clock is a ticking.
Anyway, where were we? How's everybody doing in the chat tonight?
Chat's all bopping me. That's what they're doing. Yeah.
Bop.
Now I freaking where were we talking about new beaches?
Can you be me?
I don't know. It's sort of like, but anyway, getting back to Twitch. Yeah, I think we'll see. I'm also waiting to see if they amend the rules at all.
Oh yeah,
because but
yeah,
after that we'll see.
I mean, let's be real. Let's be totally and completely real. This also would not be the first time that a website has done a bait and switch.
Oh,
so,
yeah, Tumblr.
Yeah, well, not Tumblr. Tumblr allowed stuff for a surprisingly long time. And like, as much shit as Tumblr gets for it, their hand really was kind of partially forced in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
regulations for
yada
yada.
See, that's what I'm wondering. Like, is Twitch's payment processor gonna just...
Twitch is owned by Amazon. If Amazon decides that this is okay, everyone will bend over backwards for them. Like,
God,
it's one of those things
Amazon
where it's
still
like,
sells copies of 50 Shades of Grey to every other housewife in America.
I've seen shit for sale on Amazon. I'm never gonna get into it, but I've seen shit for sale that's like, why is that there? Is that allowed? That's not allowed. Should I report
turns out
this?
it is.
Yeah, apparently it's apparently you can sell all sorts of things.
You can sell what now?
You can sell all sorts of things.
You want to share that with the rest of the class, Jonas?
You can sell many kinds of products on the website.
And again, it's like I'm not against it. I'm just I'm just shy.
You're not against it. You just like clutched at your pearls and you were like, "Oh my goodness!"
Okay.
We're a little wacky sometimes, aren't we?
Just a bit. I'm also a little more caffeinated than I usually have at this hour.
Jonas, I cannot believe you are.
Jonas, can I steal some of your energy? I'm literally, my head is in my hand, my eyes are closed right now.
Miller,
like,
do you need to go to bed?
Soon, yes.
You need your bird sleep?
I need my bird sleep.
Someone pull the hood over Miller's head so he'll go to sleep.
And just keep bopping him. Eventually,
Yeah. Just eventually
Just
it'll
keep
take.
bopping him until he's unconscious.
Yeah, until I develop a concussion.
But I can if you ever want, I can I could like give you some recommendations if you want to try like the kind of like perhaps unnecessarily frou-frou beans that I enjoy.
Oh no!
I thought you were gonna say
okay.
give us recommendations for some of the stuff you found on Amazon.
Yeah, no.
Because I mean, I could. There is some good stuff there.
So there was this personal massager I found. They had the deal of like 8 for 1. I don't know who wants that, but I want it really bad.
Oh, I was specifically talking about stuff I found for Kindle, but that's beside the point. What?
How many of them are just Chuck Tingle books?
None of them. I don't actually have any Chuck Tingle books.
No, I've seen some amazing ebook dribble on Amazon. Well, that's another category. I was, but But yeah, I have some frou-frou beans.
You know what I've seen on Amazon though? That is just like ridiculous.
What's that?
There are these books about these pets in these houses. And there's like 14 of these books. My God! Whoever write this thing is insane.
This is some furry stuff, isn't it? Furries.
Ugh, God, it might be. Oh, I didn't even think about
ruined
that.
animals.
Oh.
Furries ruined animals. That's right. That's why we don't have animals anymore.
Animals used to just be animals, but now you got animals with like feelings and thoughts and dreams. Like, what the hell is all this?
Yeah,
I like the implication that
had
animals
that for thousands of years.
I like the implication that animals never had feelings before.
Yeah, but like furries want animals to kiss. Okay.
Isn't that what Tao's principle taught us? Is that living things are just machines? They don't have feelings. It's just a biomechanical reaction.
That's right.
Don't like that.
Feelings. Next thing you're gonna give them hairdos and stuff. I mean,
And
what
God
the hell?
forbid pants.
Yeah, you don't want animals with hairdos. Do you?
Especially not big pink poofy ones.
Yeah.
Don't make your hair do a hair don't.
Yeah.
No, make your hair M.
I'm working on it.
Nice. Oops.
Hey Jonas.
What?
What's your most favorite way to eat things? Is it usually with like
My
I don't
mouth?
know, a beak or a mouth or what's
is a
the
mouth.
like straw-like thing? You know that other one?
Oh,
Proboscis.
There. Do I have to explain that now?
Can you
know if you
explain
do.
it?
Did it actually go through? Did it clip out?
No, it went through. I heard
That
it.
was a good one.
That was a good proboscis.
That was a good prob take.
Nah, for those who don't know, I have whatever the opposite of asthma is. I have the anti-asthma. Like I hate asthma. I despise it. It's horrible. It gives me
Miller has that too.
Gives my brain the creepy crawlies. And I was like talking about how I would troll people if I did asthma. Asthma recordings where like I lull them into a false insecurity, and then I say something like proboscis, just for the loud. Because apparently when I think of unsexy words, that's the first one that comes to mind.
I mean, listen, I get it, but also there are definitely less sexy words than that.
Like there are definitely sexy proboscises out there.
Oh yeah, baby, tell me about your dividends. What about your restitutions?
Right. What's wrong with us?
I mean, I say that, but that is probably actually very sexy to like a Krakoon or something.
God, Krakoon
Findom language.
Yeah.
Both of us thought of it at the same time, Ray. Does that mean we have to get married now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's the
So
rules.
Jonas is married to Stoker. Stokey's married to Ray.
What?
Jonas is like,
Due to the transitive property.
Due to the transit property,
Just like
Ray
one of
and
those-
Jonas must now kiss.
Just like one of those logic puzzles or something.
With the big grids that you have to do the little X's and the O's in.
Yeah, it's like this whole set for a thing, and it's just like you have all these different characters, and like this person's married to this, and this is a relationship with this, and this is this. So who left the cup on the table last night in this polycule?
Bill is Sue's sister. Sue is Bill's cousin somehow.
And then you're like, it was. They didn't give you enough information when they translated it.
Yeah. Bill doesn't like lemon. Sue's on a train.
Roscoe Modosco says, Rick, are you married to Kari?
Carrie.
We are not married now.
you know, I never got used to saying it Carrie because I assumed it was Kari, at least partially because he is in fact a big car guy. Not in the sense that he's a big car, although I've never met him in person, so maybe. But
he has a big car.
He's a gearhead, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he knows.
Well, I meant
cars.
the hyena.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
He knows things about stuff when it comes to cars.
Sounds like my brother.
That's the blurb on his biography that I'm writing.
His carography.
His carography. So I just assumed, like a fool, like a heckin' dang fool, that it would be pronounced that way.
That would be like if I named my character Coffee.
I mean, there are characters named Coffee out there.
Yeah, that's true.
I was gonna say, what about Coffee Soda?
Coffee Soda?
Yeah, do you not know that artist?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they're a big floofy dog with a big floofy dog with a big blue. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Wow. Yeah, that is
a big blue. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, big blue beans, as Boxer says.
Goodness.
Jonas hasn't seen anything like that in a whole month of Sundays.
Yeah. Man, there's blue. Anyway, I should have made a deliberately sexy persona. Then everybody would like me. Instead, nobody likes me.
It's not too late. Oh, Jonas, I like you.
No, nobody.
No, Jonas, everyone likes you.
No, I should have made a guy who was jacked with a big tail.
You did. You have.
I mean,
what's
stopping you?
I guess nothing. It's just
you could always fix the mistakes of the past and make the world a better place.
just redesign Jonas and make him like absurdly. Jesus.
Let's forget about it.
Jonas 2.0.
Jonas 2.0ness.
Yes.
The Jonas bonus.
You know, you have your normal OC Jonas, and then you have Jonesin.
Jonesin. Instead of coffee, he drinks muscle milk.
I thought you were literally going to be like, instead of coffee, he drinks muscle.
He drinks liquefied muscle from... Anyway.
Yeah, liquefied muscle. It's just liquefied meat.
Yay! Good joke. Trackon says, but Jonas, you're sexy as is. Thanks.
You're sexy and you know it. Or maybe you don't know it.
I don't really think of myself as sexy, but fair enough. Apparently, I've been told the voice is, the voice can be pretty good sometimes.
Oh, Jonas, say fresh butter lettuce to me.
Butter lettuce. But,
Oh, there goes Stoker. He's, done for tonight.
God, Jonas, did you see that, that clip that was going around of, frickin', Between the Lions? Where,
where
he was like, oh, I love how you say typewriter, and she's like, typewriter. And he's like, oh.
It's funny when they get crap past the radar.
Oh, God. I love those two. They were like almost Gomez and Morticia levels of horny for each other.
I knew you were going to say that.
But more G-rated than furry and lion-y.
God, I'm still looking at this coffee soda art. It's all just, yeah.
All good stuff.
Yeah, it's all protein enriched. What the hell? Okay, I'm closing that tab. Closing that tab. Closing the Naked Common Lady tab. Closing the Kill a Kill tab. Bubblegum Crisis. I swear to God.
Close all tabs to the right. Are you sure you want to close 50 tabs?
No, I like before stream. I also do this because I end up doing like a ton of like research and go down like Wikipedia rabbit holes.
Research.
Has anyone done the thing where they've looked up the Kung Fu Panda 4 characters yet to see what people have done in the like 10 hours since the trailer release?
Oh yeah,
it was like 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's right. A new Fennec dropped.
Is she a Fennec?
She's a Corsac.
Oh, she's not a Fennec? Okay, well, she's still cute.
Alright.
Her ear's too small.
What's her name again?
Jen, I think? Something like that.
Just type
I think it had a Z in it, yeah.
Jen. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Yep.
Already?
Uh-huh. I mean, come on. Jesus. Okay. Wow. Wow.
Jonas is like, with a toaster?
They're so fast. Like, man. Okay. Wow.
Where are you looking? E6?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else is out there. Okay. That's a fat butt.
Did you say that's a bat butt?
No, it's a fat butt.
Oh.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Yeah, Jonas. Don't you size shame us.
No, it's just it's obvious when you get like a character like Judy Hopps, where she's kind of petite, and then like outside of canon, the fan art has like massive Jessica Rabbit curves. You know what I mean? It's like okay.
No, I get what you're saying. That like, frequently happens to Sally, who is a pretty petite character in canon. Yeah. But and you sure wouldn't know that from the fan art.
Right. And then 20 years later, 20, 30 years later, you come back to the actual canon, and you think, man, she looks like a stick. You know, like like canonically, she looks too thin because you're so used to seeing her, book, hourglass.
So you mean the way people reacted to the new Lola Bunny design because they had gotten too used to the fan art.
Mm-hmm. Like I know one artist,
just one,
who will give every lady character a fat butt, just like a badunk, like cake, like layer cake.
Yeah.
No matter who they are, you can count on it. You can set your
I've seen some artists who do that, and it's not even necessarily that they're trying to sex up the character or whatever. It's just like they're not that great at drawing different body types.
Yeah, I figured that just kind of.
So they've figured out how to draw the one thing that they knew people would like, and then they just never tried anything else.
I mean, more power to them. It's cool. It's all good. I'm not judging.
Yeah.
Jonas, you're not being a big old hater right now, you sure?
No.
It's not necessarily that you need to diversify. I mean, look at JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Everybody has exactly the same body type.
That's how you sell the toys.
I was about to say, it's the Masters of the Universe approach. That way you just have to change out the heads of the figures.
Somebody needs to explain. not tonight, not now. Doesn't need to be now. But someone needs to sit me down and explain JoJo to me because I.
Listen, man, JoJo's one of those things. JoJo's one of those things where it's like freaking like Homestuck, where literally at this point I've heard so many things that that make no sense to me, like that just don't cohere.
It's one of those ones where it's
like
a weird layered onion cake thing to it, where it's like you can have very simple explanations or very extreme explanations.
A simple starter thing is that each season is kind of following the one before it, but it kind of plays by different rules too.
Okay.
So, having heard a bunch of different things makes sense because how it's presented dramatically changes.
It's kind of like Final Fantasies, right? Where they're not really connected together.
Okay.
Very vaguely.
Well, it's like here's this character and they do this stuff and this is their enemy, and then the next season is like
I know the
grandkid.
Okay, so it's like the Descendants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Their grandkid, and then things have different powers, and then the next season is like their grandkid, and it's like different style of powers again.
So it's like a soft reboot, basically. Like they're just kind of same universe, but they're kind of doing their own thing each time.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. I can work with that. I guess that makes sense.
Jonas is like, I can work with that. I can adapt this.
Yeah. No. My first contact with JoJo, and I didn't even know about it prior, was I had one commissioner who wanted his character done up in one of the outfits, and it was incredibly convoluted.
Yeah, I think Amano's art has been not Amano. That's the Final Fantasy guy.
It is.
Yeah, different.
Kishima. No. Whoever the artist for JoJo is, his stuff has been like.
It was me, Dio. Sorry, go on.
His stuff's been featured in the France place that starts with an L.
The Louvre.
The Louvre.
The France place that starts with an L. That's where they make the anime.
France things.
Le McDonald's.
You're killing me. You're killing me.
They use like 2 letters that they need to, and then they add on like 5 more letters.
That's just French. That's just French.
Miller, have you heard about Cosmics?
Oh God, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, more specific of what you mean. I don't know what you mean by cosmics.
Like COSMC''S. McDonald's is piloting it's like a cafe coffee kind of place. Or something. Like it's like
McDonald's is trying to get in a little bit more on the fast casual.
Yeah.
just want to jump in for one quick second. I like how the game's prompts for yes, no are you serious?
Ha 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 ha.
New and fam. You Philly.
Anyway.
Yes, it is midnight.
It is, and we need to all get our beauty sleeps, especially poor Miller. We're going to put that on.
Let's go raid Soul Vixen, and I'm going to pass the F out.
Yeah. All right. Give yourself the best. And we will see you next time for who knows what.
Yeah, no kidding. We are officially entering the wild west of Rick's Twitch streams.
The wildest of wests.
Yeah, that's right. Pandora's box has been opened, and it's wearing no pants.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.